follow, share. It was a wonderful Chapter 1. Chapter 1. 900 by APawPatrolFanatic. Follow, share. Share. It was a wonderful and sunny day in Adventure Bay. Ryder and his pups of the PAW Patrol were taking a break on missions and enjoying their vacation on the beach that Chase suggested. All the pups were doing their own thing. Rubble was building sand castles with his shovel, Zuma was riding the waves, and Sky and Rocky were collecting seashells from the beach. But two pups in particular had the most fun. And these two pups were Chase and Marshall, the German Shepherd and the Dalmatian. They have been the best friends you could imagine since the first time they have seen each other and the first two pups Ryder started the PAW Patrol with. They were playing a game of frisbee with their owner. 2. Now it's your turn, Marshall, said Ryder and threw the frisbee. Marshall soon charged after it as fast as he could. I got it. I got it. He ran after the frisbee, and before he could catch it he stumbled over his own paws and rolled straight into Sky and Rocky. Marshall, the two pups laughed. Oops, sorry pups. Guess I caught you instead. Marshall laughed back. Ryder went over to him and scratched him behind his ear. You're all such good pups. I think it's time to go home, Ryder said. Ah, but it was a wonderful vacation. We should do it again someday, Sky said. Don't worry, we'll do it again, Chase said. Just in this moment, Rubble went over to them, having finished building his last sand castle, which was pretty big. Hey, Chase. How come that you're so good friends with Marshall? He asked Chase. That's a long story. We can tell you when we're back at the lookout, Chase replied. That's a great idea. Come on, pups, let's go, Ryder said. And with that said, they made their way to the Paw Patroller and drove back to the lookout. S/N. Chapter 2. 606 by APawPatrol. Follow. Share. The pups and Ryder arrived at the lookout and slumped down into the beanbags in the main lobby. They began to talk about the vacation and how they are looking forward to going on missions again. After a few minutes of talking, just before went to turn on the big screen television, a thing came to Sky's mind. Hey, Chase, she turned to her boyfriend. You and Marshall wanted to tell us the story about your friendship, she said. 1. Oh, yeah. I nearly forgot. Come pups. I'll tell you the story, he said as the pups and Ryder sat around him and Marshall in a circle. It all began shortly after Ryder brought me here from Adventure City. Chase began. Flashback. At the Adventure Bay train station, a 10-year-old boy named Ryder got off the train. But he had a companion, a small German Shepherd pup who he named Chase. He was a little scared, because the surroundings were so new to him. He cowered behind Ryder, afraid to leave the train. Come on, Chase, don't be scared. We're going to your new home, he assured him, giving him a small smile. Oh, okay. The pup whimpered. Where are we going? To the lookout. It's a tower on an island here in Adventure Bay that I built by myself. That's where I live, Ryder replied. And so they made their way to the lookout. Stepping inside and riding the glass elevator to the top, the young pup was amazed by the structure and technology of the building. How long did it take to build this, Ryder? Chase asked. Ryder explained. Only a few months. I'm an expert at everything that includes tech. After taking Chase on a tour around the lookout, showing him the various things like the big TV screen in the lobby or the one at the top, Chase was allowed to go to the pup park to have his free time and to go play, and maybe to make some friends. To say the least, Chase really had a fun time in the park while also going to the playground that was beside it, checking out the swing set, the slide, and all the other things. Just as it was getting late and Chase made his way back to the lookout, he was about halfway in front of the exit as he heard a voice coming towards him. Turning his head to the source of the sound, he saw a spot-tet Dalmatian pup running in his direction. "Look out," was all Chase heard before the other pup crashed into him. "Sorry. I'm a little bit clumsy sometimes," the pup said as he got off of Chase. "Hi, I'm Marshall." "What's your name?" he asked, holding out his paw. "Hello there. I'm Chase." "Nice to meet you, Marshall." Chase answered. "What are you doing here alone? Do you have an owner?" Chase asked. "No, I'm a stray. I don't have anybody," he said, his smile turning into a frown. "Sorry to hear that. But I have an idea. You can come with me to my owner rider," Chase said, tilting his head to the direction of the lookout. "Oh, really? You would do that for me?" A surprised smile was painted on the Dallie's face. "Of course. Then you won't have to be alone on the streets. You will have a family and friends." "Oh my God, thank you, Chase." He cheered. "You're my best friend." "No problem. Come on, the fastest wins," Chase yelled and began sprinting to the lookout. End of flashback. And that's how we became the best of friends. Chase concluded his story. Shortly after he adopted Marshall, Ryder started the PAW Patrol with us both as the founding pups. "Ah, that was a wonderful story," cooed Sky. "Yeah, it was. All right, pups, it's getting late. Go to bed and have a good night's sleep so you're gonna be ready for tomorrow," said Ryder, yawning. "Okay. Good night, Ryder," they said as they went to their respective pup houses, but Sky went to Chase. "Good night, Chase," said Marshall as he went into his pup house and closed the door. "Good night, Marshall," Chase replied as he quietly laid himself down beside his already sleeping girlfriend. "Good night, Sky," he said and drifted off to sleep shortly after.
Ja, hallo Leute, ich bin jetzt da wieder. Und ja, danke fürs Zuschauen. Das waren die kurzen Geschichten, das ich hier gefunden habe. Das ist, und ihr seht schon in der Titel, wie es heißt. Und ja, die waren die ersten 2 Parts gewesen von dieser Saison. Und, aber keine Angst, wir haben noch ein paar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Genau, wir haben noch 7 Chapters noch zu gehen. Und ja, die sind die ersten 2 von diesen 2 Parts. Brothers Until the End vom APawPatrol Chase und Marshall Friendship Story. Und ja Leute, hat euch diese Story gefallen? Vielleicht werde ich später kommen und wieder noch 2 Parts machen. In dieser Story. Und ja, hoffentlich seid ihr dann bereit für dann. Vielleicht werde ich da schnell eine Pause machen und vielleicht komme ich dann gleich wieder und wieder 2 Chapters zu machen oder 3 oder 4 oder alle. Aber ja, das wird ihr dann herausfinden später dann. Und ja Leute, bis später. Woo!